Proverbs 13:12 says, "Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life." I'm going to talk to you about exposing unspoken expectations. An expectation is something that you believe will happen. An unfulfilled expectation often leads to resentment in a relationship. So it's really important that we figure out what our expectations are so that we can decide what to do with them so that they don't end up causing resentment and hurting our relationship. So how can you figure out what your unspoken resentments are, or expectations are? Well, a lot of us have expectations that come from our childhood, the way things were done in our home. My mother did it this way, my father did it this way, this is our tradition, this is how we handle conflict, this is how we handle anger, and you assume that it needs to be handled the same. We could have expectations of a friend who we expect the friend to be at the same level of friendship that you are at. Maybe you might expect that friend to initiate as much as you initiate or have as much time as you have for that person. So figure out, what is it that's happening? What is repeatedly irritating you and making you upset? What are you resentful about now? Figure out, what are the things that you're resentful for? That may reveal some of those unspoken expectations, because we may not even know our own expectations, which is important. So by giving some time to this process, you will figure out what your own expectations are, because a lot of times they're kind of hidden to our, even our own expectations are hidden to us. So what repeatedly irritates you? What do you actually have resentments for already? What are your relationship disappointments? What do you feel disappointed about in the relationship, and what are your unmet needs? What needs in the relationship would you like to have met that are not met? I'll bet you have some expectations about those, over those needs. Or the disappointments will tell you the things that you wished would have been different. But there might be some expectations with that. You might not have let go yet of the expectations that have to do with those wishes or those resentments or those unmet needs. And then what things are not done your way that you feel you would like to have done your way? You might have some resentments over those too. So what you need to do is you need to look at each of these things. What repeatedly irritates you in the relationship? What are you resentful over? What are your relationship disappointments? What are your unmet needs? What do you wish would be different? What things are not done your way that you would like to have done your way in the relationship? This could be any relationship: friend, mother, father, sibling, boss, coworker, spouse, child, doesn't matter, any relationship. Then you look at them. It'd be good to journal this, because journaling helps. Look at them and decide which ones are reasonable and which ones are unreasonable. Unreasonable are ones that the person isn't going to change, isn't willing to change. You've talked to the person about it before. The person never has been willing to change that. So bringing that up and talking about that's probably just going to cause more resentment on the other side from the other person toward you. Or it could be, wow, I look at that and gosh, that's unreasonable. I'm wanting things all my way, or I'm wanting things to be done only my way, or maybe that's too, I'm going to decide that one's kind of picky. It's nitpicky. That's not important to me. I'm going to let that go. So let go of the ones that are unreasonable for your situation, for the relationship, and then take the ones that are reasonable and pick the right time to talk to the person about it and say, this has been my expectation, and I don't know, I didn't even know this was my expectation, or I've been resentful over this and I haven't expressed to you what my expectation is. I need to let you know, I have an expectation that this be handled this way, or that you respond this way when I bring up a way that I'm hurting. Can we just talk about this? And then the other person can tell you, wow, I'll be glad to do that. I didn't even know that you wanted that. That's no big deal for me. Or the other person might say, I can't do that. Like that's not my way of doing things. That's not something that's natural for me. That wouldn't feel right. Then the other person tells you, and then you get to choose. What do I do about that? Do I meet my own need? Do I let that go? Do I say that needs to be brought to a higher level of importance in the relationship, something we really need to discuss more because I can't accept you saying no? Then you figure out what to do about that. But at least you don't have unspoken expectations that are causing you a problem in the relationship. This process will actually help your relationship to be better. So thank you for watching this video on Change My Relationship. I would love for you to go to my website, check out my books, my studies, and my free devotionals. So thank you very much.